Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. Excuse me. And today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. And we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. As I mention each day, in my opinion, the prices as close as you can get to the close of the market are the most valid prices of the day to make your buying and selling decisions from. I say this because during the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders fighting it out, battling it out. I consider it a lot of noise. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions, you have the market makers come in, they take control of the market. They're the best equipped, they have the most knowledge, they're dealing with the most money, and they move the price at the end of the day to what they think is the most valid price. And I like to follow them and allocate capital based upon what they're doing at the end of the day instead of what the prices are in the middle of the day with the noise from the day traders and the algos. So I hope everyone is doing well today. We're having quite an interesting day. Hey Christopher, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, give me one sec. Well, that was a change. Katie heard me speaking from outside, and now she wanted in as soon as I started speaking. So anyway, appreciate everybody coming here today. I appreciate you spending your time, investing your time. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I think we have such a great group. So thank you so much for being part of this group. And like I said, I hope the channel is helping you with your trading and investing. Gamer Squad, hey Gamer, good to see you, Dave. Hope you're having a good day over there in Denver. So interesting day today. So it looks like we have a phase one deal with China. They signed that today. President Trump signed that today. The market is up, although if we look at a bunch of our stocks, it's coming from a very select type of stock in the Dow compared to broad-based. And we'll take a look at that when we get to all my current, or we get to the go through my watch list. So yeah, so the Dow's up 116 points, NASDAQ is up 15 points, S&P is up 6 points. So the clear winner on today are the Dow stocks. So anyway, should be interesting. I was just talking about the last hour of the market. It should be interesting to see where the last hour goes. Like I said, where the large financial institutions move this market at the end of the day. So all right, well, oh, we have Marco. Good to see you, Marco. Nice to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming as always. Mount Doji says AVYA is looking good today. Hey, Mount Doji, you know what? AVYA, I can't pull it up on my charts, Mount Doji. I apologize for that. But Mount Doji says that looks good, so you might want to take a look if you can pull that symbol up. But I've tried a couple times. I can't do it, but thanks for letting me know, Mount Doji. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you're having a nice day. Always nice to see you. Alan Bailey, hey, Alan, good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Roman Ray, hey, Roman. I think this is the first time I've seen Roman's name on here, I believe. So thank you so much for coming. Nice having you here. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, William, good to see you. It's been a while, my friend. Hope you're doing well there in Hawaii with Cooper. Thanks for coming. JT, hello, my friend. Nice to see you, JT, as always. Thank you for coming. All right, well, this is the plan for today. As usual, first of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. We're going to get that out of the way. Second, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. Then some of you have been kind enough to share your trades. I have them down here on the charts. So we'll go through each one of those trades, break down the charts, and see how you guys are doing with these positions. After that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. My opinion, most important skill you can develop in trading. Most important skill by far. You know, there's some people out there that are fantastic chartists and technical analysts. I mean, out of this world fantastic. But some of them have have a tough time following their plan. And you can have the best plan in the world, you can be the best chartist in the world, but if you cannot follow your plan that you laid out before you took the trade, if you cannot follow it, you've got some work to do. You need to hone that skill. You need to work on that skill. I say it every day, but I say it because it's so important. And I know a few of you, have mentioned to me that you've had impulse problems with your trading and so forth. And my best advice is to reduce your position size so you don't have the amplification of your emotions. Have a friend or a family member watch your trades so you're accountable to someone. That definitely helps as well. So we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. Hopefully what we talk about here will be helpful for you today. After that, we're going to go through my watch list. We're going to take a look at each stock. We're going to go through one by one, look at all the technical levels, all the indicators like MACD, RSI, moving averages, of course, and ATR channels. And my philosophy on trading is that in order to put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade, you have to have as many buyers with you at the same time, right? Makes sense. And so I look at each indicator that I use as a potential group of buyers. So if I have one trigger over here, one indicator lining up over here, another one lining up over there at the same time, at the same place, at the same price, then I look at that as three potential groups of buyers coming in. So again, if you want to put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade, you need to be with as many other buyers as possible, and a confluence or a combination of indicators or triggers lining up at the same place is what I'm looking for. So that's requirement number one. Requirement number two, need to make sure that I have a good risk to reward ratio. I need to make sure I can make at least twice as much that I'm risking. So if I'm risking $100, I want to be able to make sure I can make $200. You might say, well, how can you figure that out? Well, you have to look at where the support is, where the stop is on your trade compared to what a valid resistance level or a likely resistance level is above you. So 2-to-1 is what I'm looking for risk to reward. And then number three, make sure you do not have too many correlated positions. Ray Dalio speaks all the time about how he's a huge fan of diversification. He trades hundreds of different types of stocks and different types of securities. Bonds, gold, oil, currencies, stocks, international stocks. So it's very important not to be too highly correlated with one particular sector or in one particular market. So those are the three requirements. Number one, look for a confluence or a combination of indicators or triggers lining up. Number two, make sure you have a good risk to reward ratio based upon the resistance above you and the support below you. And number three, make sure you are diversified in your holdings and you're not too heavily concentrated in one particular industry or one particular security. So we'll go down there. We'll go down through the list. Those three requirements. If I find something that looks good, I will buy it at the end of the day. Then after the market closes, if any of you have any questions, if you need clarification on anything I discussed today, please let me know. Happy to answer the questions. If you'd like me to take a look at a stock symbol, give you my opinion on it, I'm very happy to do that. And then also, if you find a symbol with something that looks interesting before the market closes and you think it would be helpful for the group, please let me know and maybe put a star by it, something like that, so I know it's time sensitive. And then I will break it down. Who knows? I've had some nice trades from you. I have a watch list that I follow every single day, but I've had really some nice trades from you, from this group, by pointing out some potential trades that I normally wouldn't have seen. So I appreciate you guys doing that, and girls. Anyway, that's the plan. So listen, if you could hang on for about 40 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back shortly and we'll get started. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Well, thanks for holding out. Steve Burns is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Always an honor to have you here, Steve. Thank you. I really mean it. I'm always excited to have you here. I know everyone else is. Be able to be in the same chat room with Steve Burns each day is a big deal. So thank you so much. Steve says, hey, Greg, the bulls are still driving this market and won't take their foot off the gas pedal. Boy, it is true, isn't it? This is an unbelievable market. Takes me back to 1999. I always know it's an unbelievable market where I look at the market and go, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. That's whenever you hear me start saying that, the market has gone kind of crazy. But I have to warn you, when things are, the pendulum swings and it overextends itself both to the downside and to the upside. So keep that in mind. Just because the market is up right now and up strongly doesn't mean, we go piling into shorts, because, it is up for a reason. The bulls are in firm control of this. And so something to keep in mind, but you are right. Steve says, please look at the SPICE chart. You know what? I looked at that earlier, Steve. Look at this, everybody. This is one of those, this one is a bummer for me, because I love the idea of this industry. I think space and space tourism, all this is definitely going to be a new horizon as far as a large industry. When it was back here, I was like, man, I believe in this industry. I believe in that company. I believe in Richard Branson. And of course, I didn't have any signals, so I couldn't take it. Look at this, everybody. This is insane. How'd you like to be on the short side of this? I mean, we've had, can you imagine being on the short side of Beyond Meat? Can you imagine being on the short side of Tesla? Can you imagine being on the short side of Virgin Galactic, SPCE? A lot of people been beat up a lot with these stocks. So, look at these and think to yourself, boy, would I want to be stuck short in something like this? And the answer is no. So I'm not saying you couldn't go ahead and short it somewhere along here, but just make sure that if you're wrong quickly and you get out. Worst thing you can do is have a conviction about where a stock is, whether it's too high or too low, and then start betting big, regardless of price action. That's where the most people get in trouble. They come up with a very strong conviction about something, and then the market moves against them. And every time it moves against them, they either add more to the short side. If the stock's going up and they think it's going down and it keeps going up, they just add more and more and more. And again, the pendulum swings very strongly. And so, like, one of the best advices I can give is, don't battle something that's really going up strongly. Don't have a strong conviction of a stock. I go into every stock trade going, nah, I'm probably wrong. And, it might sound negative, but it's not. It's just something for me that works, because if I go into a stock going, oh man, this is probably going to be a loser, then if it is a loser, I'm right. And it's easy to pull the trigger and get out of the trade. But if I go into a stock saying, oh man, this thing's going up, I know it for sure. Oh, it's going down. Okay, it's just a little dip. No problem. It has support way down there. No problem. I'll just add some more here. That's where people get in. That's where people get in the most problems. They really get in the most problems. So look at that. Up at the 6ATR channel, boy, it is tough to get up there. You can see back here on the 24th of December, that's where we tagged, and that was about it. Now we tagged, well, actually it tagged it today, didn't it? Very, very tough to get above or below the 6ATR channel. I mean, it happens. Dr. Alexander Elder, I studied with Dr. Alexander Elder, and he has an approach called fading and extreme, which means he defines extreme as the 6ATR channel. And when you look back in time, very often it's just almost like here, almost to the -6, and that That was kind of the bottom. You get up to the +6. That was kind of top. It seems easy back in hindsight. Just like looking at RSI looks very easy, but it's harder to do in real time. But thanks for coming, Steve. Appreciate it. Hey, Dr. Long, good to see you. Appreciate you coming. My friend William says, your thoughts on ABBV. ABBV. Yeah, well, you know, if I would have seen this yesterday, I might have taken it. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We made a lower high. See how this high is lower than this high? If that happens very often, you're going to come back down and test this previous low, which is exactly what happened. It washed out the low. So now I'm okay for a V1 or a V2. Yesterday, it had a really nice V2. So if I would have seen this yesterday, this definitely would have qualified for a buy for me. So thanks, William, for showing me today instead of yesterday. Kidding, my friend. But would I buy it here? No, I probably wouldn't buy it here. I wouldn't buy it here. It's a little bit extended. It's about 3/4 up here. It did reject the 1 ATR channel, but yesterday definitely would have been the move there. Roman Ray, stock FE. Just wondering if the bar from yesterday's 14th would be considered a V1. Well, let's take a look. Yes, it would have. It would have been a completely valid trade. Darn. Roman, where were you yesterday, buddy? This is a beautiful higher low V2. We were below the 1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. We came down. We rejected the previous day's low. Closed above 50, closed above all the moving averages. Perfect entry. Kind of similar to Williams ABBV though. I don't think I would be buying it here today. It's a little too high in the channel and it rejected the -1 ATR channel. It has resistance over here. But yes, this is a great example of a nice V1, Roman. So yeah, look for those. Dr. Long says, bought my crude back today. Still looking for stops below 1350 on VIX. Yeah, VIX is up today for us, Dr. Long, which is good, right? And then you bought crude oil. I was looking at crude oil as well with this bounce off of the 100-day moving average. I don't think I'm going to take it though, and I'll tell you why. Yes, we did bounce at the 200. Yes, we did reject the -1 ATR channel. But MACD is so strong down, which doesn't preclude me from taking the trade. But these are very strong, deep bars. I think any rally is going to be rejected pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a higher low V1 or a double test of this 200 before I get interested. Christopher says, in the news today, they were predicting Tesla would go to 6,000. 6,000? It's at 500. It's going to go up 6 times from here. Wow. Well, I guess we better load up and buy, right? Just kidding. Just kidding. Hey, Bing He, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming. Nice to see you. Steve says, the higher the conviction on a trade that someone, the higher the conviction on a trade, the bigger the loss when someone is wrong on the wrong side of the move. Hold your options lightly and your stop losses tightly. Uh-oh, Steve's breaking into Poem. He's trying to take over Frank's turf. It's so true, Steve. Guys, listen, I'm telling you, Steve's telling you, if you have a high conviction on a trade, you're in trouble. I'm telling you. I mean, you're in trouble if you don't follow your plan, right? Just like Christopher said, right? The news is going to 6,000. Well, Tesla's going to 6,000. If somebody looks at Tesla and goes, well, hey man, they said 6,000, I'm buying, and it starts going down and down, and you have a high conviction, no, it's going to 6,000. They said, you're in trouble. Try not to have high conviction trades. I mean, it's fine to take them if you have the right signal, but if it goes against you, get the hell out of there. He said, but that's great. Okay, words of wisdom from Steve. Hold your opinions lightly and your stop losses tightly. Man, that's good stuff, Steve. Yes, hold your opinions lightly. but take your stop losses seriously. Bing He says, VIX looks interesting today, but I already maxed out my positions. Cannot take any more trades. Frowny face. That's okay, Bing He. You've had some really good trades here. So, that's fine. That is totally fine. I mean, if you're maxed out, then you're maxed out. You can't take any trades. But, if I had six long positions, would I take a VIX position? Yeah, I would. Sure, I would, because it's the opposite type of trade. So there's no correlation there. Anto Phillips, hello. How you doing, Anto? Disney. Unfortunately, I have Disney today. I'm going to go over that in a minute, Anto. But looks like very likely I'm going to have to get out of Disney today. William Green, good day. Good day to you, sir. Appreciate you coming. Hope you're having a good day. Nice to see you. Dr. Long says, I was long 63.50 puts on the rocket attack, covered today, still bearish. Yeah, honestly, I'd have to say I'm bearish as well. But again, that's just my opinion. Like Frank says, when it comes to trading, my opinion is no business. Wait, what was this? When it comes to trading, my opinion is no business of mine, or something like that, right? If you have an opinion, that's fine. We all have opinions, but make sure you have some kind of trigger, some kind of entry with a real plan. If you're gonna take it, if you have an opinion, and if you have an opinion on something and it's not doing, then just hold tight until it does something to show you it's going your way. Mount Doji says, I did take VIX yesterday. Thoughts on TVIX? So let's see. Okay. All right, Mount Doji. So here's TVIX. Let's see. You took it yesterday. Yeah, I mean, look, it's at a 30 RSI. It's holding the 30 RSI. It's holding the negative third ATR channel. So you took it yesterday. It's down slightly today. I mean, if it were me, I'm not telling you what to do, Mount Doji, but if it were me, I would hold it until we close below the 30. Speaking of VIX, I did want to show you guys this. So, of course, VIX goes the opposite of the S&P 500. It shows volatility's picking up. Look, we've made new highs. Right? We've been making new highs, new highs, new highs. Look at the VIX. It has not been confirming those highs. I mean, it's having a hard time going up, but it is holding steady. Look what we have. Look at this bottom. Look at this rally. Look at this bottom. Look at this bullish divergence here. Deep red bars here, not as deep red bars here, holding inside the value zone. Theoretically, the VIX going down, or the market making new highs, we should have new lows in the VIX. So, this right here is what concerns me about the market, that the market's going up, but the VIX is not going down, right? So, and you have this double bottom with this bullish divergence. So anyway, something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Wow, we have really sold off, haven't we? NASDAQ's negative now. S&P's only up 2 points. All right. I better get to work here. Okay. So Anto was talking about Disney. I did buy Disney yesterday. Actually, I bought it. Mount Doji bought it. Christopher H bought it. We had a really nice signal. We came down. We closed below the 50-80 moving average. We had a huge washout yesterday at the previous day's low. We had a beautiful V1. We rejected this previous low. So we had a false breakout to the downside. We had a V1. We had to close under the 50, back over the 50. Everything looked good on this trade for sure. My initial stop on here is a halfway of this big bar. When you have a bar that's larger than 1 ATR, to the upside, you should hold some support at the 50% of that bar. So that was my stop today. If it closes below 144.47, I'm going to just have to go ahead and get out call this a loss, about 0.61%. No big deal. It's okay to have small losses, right? Now, if I had a conviction about Walt Disney that it has to go up and I just hold it, and then it goes huge down tomorrow, if I think it's a good price here and it goes down 2% tomorrow, how can I sell it that day? And I'll tell you, the trading gods, I don't know what it is, but as soon as you have that mindset of something has got to go up, it will go down. I don't know why. Those of you who've been trading, you understand what I mean. So if we close below 144.47 today, I'm going to have to go out, take about a 0.59% loss on this trade. So we'll see what happens. Anything could happen at the end of the day. But if it holds above 144.47, I will go ahead and keep it. But we'll just have to watch it. All right, world famous SPY trade. I know everyone hears this each day. I'm sure it gets old. I apologize, but in case we have some new viewers, I want them to understand why I do buy the SPY every day at the close and sell it first thing in the morning. Has nothing to do with technicals, anything like this. This is from a back test from Liz Ann Saunders. This is all the way back from 1993. She's at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. But with this approach, you have they tested two approaches. First approach was buying the SPY at the open each day in the morning, selling it at the close at the end of the day each day. So buy the open, sell the close, buy the open, sell the close. If you would have used this approach every day since 1993, you'd have actually returned a negative 13.9% return for all your troubles. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, and buy the SPY at the close each day, sell the next morning at the open, so buy the close, sell the next open, buy the close, sell the next open, you've actually returned a positive 634.2% return. So past performance is no guarantee of future results. That is true, and that goes for any trading approach. But I love this chart. It shows you if you do have an edge in your trading and you can stay in the game long enough, it can really play out nicely for you. There's ups and downs. Nothing's perfect. Nothing goes straight up. But we want to take the long-term view of trading, not get excited or too excited or too disappointed about any one trade. If we have an edge, we want to apply it, rinse and repeat. And over the long term, you can see that the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning is far superior approach than buying in the morning, sell in the afternoon. So with that being said, I did buy S&P yesterday at the close at 327.45 and took a very small loss this morning. Had to get out first thing in the morning, 327.34. So you never know how this is going to work. You can go through phases. In 2019, I did very, very well with this approach, although the month of May, I lost 80% of my trades, right? And this year so far for me, down using this approach, but it comes in waves, winning waves, losing waves, just chopped up waves. So anyway, it's a very small loss on that. I will be buying this again today at the end of the market. VIX. All right. So I did buy VIX yesterday here at the close. I bought it because we went under 30 RSI, back over 30 RSI. We also tagged the negative third ATR channel. Gives me a good risk to reward. Do I know it's going to go up? No, I have no clue it's going to go up. It might just go down. As a matter of fact, when I look at this trade, I probably think it's going to go down for reasons I told you earlier. But guess I was wrong. It's up today, right? And a little V1 here as well. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this as long as it stays above the 30 RSI, and it gives me a little hedge against the long equities. All right, well, had a nice trade on utilities here. So I did buy utilities back here on the 9th of January. I bought it because we were above the value zone. We were above the 1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. We rallied, but then we made a lower high. Whenever you make a lower high from that previous high, you have to wash out the low. Okay, so I did wash out the low. Check that box. Then I want some sidewards movement. Got the sidewards movement, looking for a V2 here today, but it didn't trigger. But I loved the setup and I needed something else to give me a trigger. Well, the triangle here gave me a trigger, and the trigger is Here's this day. Next day, we go up and then close back below. This is a V1 to the downside. This is a bearish signal. However, if the next day can close above that first day's high, that is a complete reversal of fortunes. We had a negative bar that immediately reversed to a positive bar. So I did buy it back here, 64.22 on the 9th. You can see this has been a great trade so far. Hit 4 profit targets today. So that's fantastic, and we are above the 70 RSI. So I will continue to stay in this, phase out to the upside till I'm out of shares, or if we get a close below the 70 RSI. I did want to show you something here. You've probably heard of a cup and handle setup, and what you need with a cup and handle setup is you need a high, you need to come back down, you need to come up at least 75% from here to here. So this qualifies. Then you need to go back down a little bit. See, here's the cup, here's the little handle. The setup is you have to break above the high of that little handle. And this is exactly what happened today on the weekly. And you know, you always hear me talk about higher lows being really the way to go. And essentially a cup and handle is a higher low. You have people, you have a high, you have a dip, you have people buying this dip down here. Once it gets up here and starts to fail, they're going to get out. And then if you have a whole new group of buyers that can push it up, then these people sold here, makes it easier to move up. But this is a perfect example of a cup and a handle. This is on the weekly, by the way. But I saw this forming. I was like, man, if that thing hits, it's going to go, and it's exactly what happened. So anyway, out of the majority of this trade, but really great so far. Did reject the third ATR channel. So anyway, good trade. Puts me positive on the day, which very happy for that. So that's it. That is it. Let's take a look here. Okay, so Disney's not looking too hot. SPY, boy, we have really sold off. Look at that. Buy that at the end of the day. VIX up slightly for us, and XLU. Boy, I'm running behind here today, aren't I? All right, so listen, everyone, this is the time of the day where I do like to spend just a few minutes on some good trading words of wisdom that people on Facebook and Twitter are kind enough to put out. They spend a lot of time and energy posting this each day. They really don't get anything out of it. I think they do it out of the goodness of their heart. And I know Steve does, because Steve wants people to become better traders and investors, and that's why he takes the time to do this. But this is from Steve Burns, our very good friend Steve Burns. This is on Facebook, not Twitter. He may have posted this on Twitter as well, but listen to this. Maybe size your positions so you don't care what happens and can follow your signals. Usually a good size is when you get mad. A good size is when you get mad when it does go up and you don't have enough. Listen, I don't know if you've ever read Market Wizards. I can't remember what Market Wizard said this, but he said exactly what Steve... Oh, and by the way, this is from Ninja 118. So I want to make sure he got credit there. But Ninja 118 put out a really, really good message here. But in Market Wizards, one of the Market Wizards says, you should position size to where you don't care, right? And if you don't care, then you really will be able to follow your signals. Remember, that's what I said before. If you can't follow your signals, you probably have too high of a position. So position size to where you really don't care what happens, and most likely you're going to have profitable trades, and later you're going to come back and go, dang it, I didn't have enough shares. Well, if you had a lot of shares like you wanted to, you probably would not have followed your trade, and you probably wouldn't have had the nice trade. So thank you so much for Steve Burns for sharing this, and thank you so much for Ninja 118 on Twitter. And you might want to check out their channel as well, because this is good advice. All right. How are we doing on time? All right. Dr. Long says, all these short squeezes at the high could be problematic for the market. Yes, I agree. Frank, what's going on? Okay. Frank's busting out a poem. Favorite part of the day. Thank you, Frank. Let's read it. Traders don't own, they rent. Though the trend is their friend, will it ascend or descend? Their position they must defend. Their position they must defend. Alas, the market's so big, it makes hardly a dent. Traders don't own, they rent. Thank you, Frank. That's great, my friend. And I love posting this on Twitter. Hope it's okay with you. This is great. I mean, this is just unbelievably great. having these poems. I mean, you're a master, Frank. You are a master. Man, what a great niche. So let me post this in my little note thing here so I can post that later. But thank you so much, Frank. That's really, really good. Traders don't own, they rent. Though the trend is their friend, will it ascend or descend? Their position they must defend. Alas, the market so big, it makes hardly a dent. Traders don't own, they rent. That's fantastic. Zach, 1662. Hey, Zach, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Nice to have you here. Zach says, hello, brand new to this and eager to learn. Oh, fantastic. If you have any questions, Zach, please let me know. I'm happy to help you out with whatever I can do. Steve says, and Frank says, great stuff, Steve. Steve says, Ninja is my private trader group and was one of the first people to ever join my e-course platform. Oh, so a founder member. Well, that's great. Go to Ninja 118 and subscribe and say hi and say we heard about you from Steve. Okay. What are we doing? What am I doing? All right. Steve says, I posted Frank's poems on Instagram too, and people love them. They do love them. Are you getting some subscribers, Frank, on Twitter? I hope you are, because it's just great stuff. All right, should we get to it? Let's get to it. All right, Apple. Well, I was talking about Apple yesterday going down. I haven't seen it go down for so long. It was like seeing some, wild animal out there that no one ever sees, a rare wild animal. Well, we're down again today. We were extended above the third ATR channel. Now we're coming back down. So I've been waiting on dip for Apple for a long time. I want to wait. When it's above the 1 ATR channel, I consider it overvalued. I don't want to buy something overvalued. I want to buy in value in between this green line and this green line, which is the 1 and the negative 1 ATR channel, or below value. I do not want to buy in above value. So waiting for a pullback, but yeah, down again today. Adobe down again today. Looks like it may lose the third ATR channel. 90% of prices fail here at this level. So if I own a stock and it's getting up to this level, I'm definitely going to be thinking about selling it, not buying it up here. Need to wait for a dip right back down here in the value zone. Amazon down again, but Amazon is kind of shaping up. Remember, I don't want to buy above the 1 ATR channel. Don't want to buy up here. Now it's come back into the value zone. Okay, so that's step one. Now it's starting to look interesting. Now I need to see it move sideways for a couple days. Look for a V1 or a V2. Ideally, I'd like to see it drip down here, move sideways, reject the 200-day moving average, close back above. Right here is where I'm looking to buy. This is where I would be interested in buying Amazon right now at the 200. So, identify something in the future, say, okay, this looks great if it gets there, right? Those are the key words. This looks great if it gets there. And then once it gets there, and if I get a valid trigger, I will be buying. So important to just be patient. Better than buying up here, right? Boeing down today. Good thing I didn't take that. I was considering buying that yesterday, but I decided not to because of rejection near the 50 and the 20-day moving average. Similar with Amazon. What am I looking for? I am looking for Boeing to come down to this previous low. Then we'll have a beautiful double bottom with a bullish divergence. that would be the place to buy for me. Berkshire Hathaway up slightly today, really nothing here. Beyond Meat, of course, Steve had the most monster trade I have ever seen. Steve bought back here when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20 EMA. I unfortunately had to pass on the trade because my filters didn't allow me to take it here. And this is one of those regret trades that I didn't take because it was a monster. Look at this thing. I think he made 38% on this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. He did get out yesterday because it's this bearish reversal bar up here. And good thing he did, because now it is down 8.48% today. So where would I be interested in buying Beyond Meat? Well, still too high for me. Need to come back down here into the value zone. Will I ever get it? I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get that trade. But if it does, that's where I'll be looking for it. Caterpillar down today, was above the value zone, came into the value zone, had some nice movement, but didn't have any signal. So nothing on Caterpillar. Dow Jones rejected the 3rd ATR channel, which happens very often. I'm looking for Dow Jones to get back into the value zone before I can think about taking it. Walt Disney, of course, I talked about that earlier. We had this nice V1, false breakout to the downside, under 50, over 50. Lots of signals, lots of bullish signals, but I took it like I'm supposed to. But even though this setup is a high conviction setup, it doesn't mean I'm highly I don't have a lot of conviction on the trade, because the market is telling me that it's not going the way. So if it closes under 144.47, I'll be out. Just take that small loss. Etsy, V1 to the downside, rejected the 100-day moving average and rejected the 3rd ATR channel and rejected the 70 RSI. So that's quite bearish. Doesn't mean I'm going to short it. No, it doesn't. But I'd like to see, but just want to point that out. If I was in this trade and this happened today, 1,000,000% I would get out. But I would wait for a pullback into the value zone. How are we doing on time? All right, Facebook hanging in there, very, very strong, above the 3rd ATR channel, looking for a pullback into value before I can get interested. Gold, nothing here today on gold. I need a pullback into the value zone, or I need the 5 EMA to cross under the 20 EMA and then back over. One of those two things is what I need to happen. I did buy gold back here when I had the 520 crossover, and you can see this turned into a great trade. I ran out of shares right up here. Google bucking the trend up today, just too high, waiting for a pullback. Goldman Sachs had earnings, gap down, reversed back up, still way too high for me to buy. Like a lot of stocks today, waiting for a pullback. Home Depot, above the 1 ATR channel, looking for a pullback. IBB did have a higher low V1 yesterday. I can't remember. Somebody, I think it was Dr. Long, or maybe it was, no, it was Mount Doji. So this would have been a higher low V2. It's worked out okay so far, but nothing there for me. Intel above the 1 ATR channel, in the value zone, moving sideways. This is perfect. This is what I'm looking for. Now I just need a trigger. Better to buy here in value in consolidation than way up here above value. So that's what I'm looking for on Intel, but not quite yet. Russell 2000, no, look, we made a high, we came back down, we made a higher high. We had green MACD bars here. We had a lot of red. Now we have no green. This is a very bearish situation. Doesn't mean I'm going to go ahead and short this, but in big picture, this is bearish. It means we've had double top. We've had a double top. We've had a false breakout to the upside. We have a bearish MACD divergence. So definitely not going to get involved with IWM. Johnson & Johnson. I was thinking about taking this trade back here. I didn't take it because it was too high in the value zone. Only I take from here up to about here. And this was over the specs where I could take the trade, but the market didn't care and it kept going up. CarMax up a little today. I know Steve had a nice trade on this. We had some other people. Alan had a nice trade on this. It looks like we're closing above the 1 ATR channel. That's good. I would be looking for a pullback into value and now a higher low V1 or V2. Coca-Cola very strong, and that's what we're going to see today. We're going to see stocks like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Philip Morris. We're going to see these consumer defensive kind of stocks are having some rotation of money in here. This was above the value zone, did come into the value zone as I was looking to buy here, but I didn't get a trigger and left without me. Lockheed Martin just too high, look for a pullback. MasterCard too high now, look for a pullback into the value zone. McDonald's is another one that I just talked about. Consumer defensive stocks really moving up. I know JT had a nice trade on this. I would like to see it pull back to the 200-day within the value zone for me to get interested. Merck, talked about Merck yesterday. Did have this nice higher low V1 yesterday. Didn't take it, unfortunately, and look at that, nice. But this is a nice example of a higher low V1. So can't buy it here. I would be chasing at this point. It's too high. But okay, what else do we have? We have Microsoft. Looking for a pullback into value now. Netflix. Looking for a pullback into value. Here, the 200-day would be nice. Nike. Nothing there. Pullback. Philip Morris was what I was talking about. Another big high move here. Need to pull back into value. PayPal up 7 cents. Had a great move. It's held above the 200. Really nice. But again, can't buy up here. This is where I would be looking to sell, not to add a position. So looks like it rejected the 70 RSI. Looks like it rejected the third ATR channel. Looking for a pullback into value. Qs down on the day. Still holding the 70 RSI. If we lose a 70 RSI, I think that would be telling. But as for now, just looking for a pullback into value. Silver up a little bit today. Poked its head into the value zone. Does have a V2, but it's too high for me. So I need the 5 EMA to cross under the 20 EMA, or for us to now come down, wash out this low, move sideways, look for a V1, V2. We had a nice trade back here when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20. I did buy it here. Great trade, scaled out, ran out of shares there. S&P 500 negative on the day now, but we'll be buying this again at the end of the day. Overnight trade. Bonds, yeah. So you're seeing some money go into bonds here. Can't buy it. It's above the 1 ATR channel. Look for a pullback. Tesla down today, giving the shorts a little bit relief, but just a little. Where would I be looking to buy Tesla? Down here in the value zone, of course. Twitter, it's above the 1 ATR channel. Look for a pullback into value. United Health Group had a big up day on earnings. Can't buy it up here though, too high. We talked about oil, has bounced off the 200-day moving average, but it's just not enough for me. I'd like to see it go under 30, back over 30, back or under the 200, back over the 200, something like that, or a rally and then a come back down and have a double bottom with a bullish divergence. VIX, we talked about VIX, bought that yesterday. That's up, well, it's break even right now. Verizon, nothing on Verizon. Walmart, boy, Walmart has had a tough time of it, hasn't it? So nothing there. How low did we get on Walmart? Did we get under the 30? Not quite. So in the coming days, possibly look at Walmart. Energy is holding this level down here, but there's not enough there for me. Financials, whew, down today, nothing there. Real estate having a really nice day here. Looking for a pullback there. Then, of course, we had this trade on XLU. This has been a monster, big monster day today. So, again, close below the 70 RSI would be my trailing stop. Or maybe tomorrow, if we had a huge reversal of the third ATR channel, something like that. And then healthcare. So, man, no trades today. I don't see any trades. I know lately I've been pretty light on the trades, but it's by design, everybody. I'm trying to set a good example, show everybody that I'm not going to just take a trade to take a trade. I have to take a trade based upon something that fits my parameters. So I don't see anything here. I am going to have to watch Disney. If Disney closes under 144.47. I'm going to have to go ahead, just take that small loss. VIX hanging in there, XLU hanging in there. So let's see if anybody has. Gamer, if we close the gap in Apple, would that be bearish? You know, I think you're talking about this gap. You know, we probably should hold some support here because we're probably going to have some support here. But if we close the gap, yeah, it would be bearish. All in all, it would be bearish for sure. Christopher says double bottom on McDermott International. Christopher, what is the symbol? Mount Doji says, I wish I listened to my IBB trade. Yeah, well, it's up today for sure. But man, we play that game with ourselves all the time, right, Mount Doji? You wish you would have listened to your IBB suggestion. I wish I would have listened to my Merc here yesterday, but you know, it's just, this is trading. It's just what happens. You're not going to get them all, but you don't need them all. That's the point. Christopher said, is that a V1 form on Yum brand? Well, let's take a look-see. It was a V1 yesterday. Here's day one, here's day two. Day two washes out day one, closes above. However, I would not have taken this because one, the day one bar is larger than 1 ATR. See, 1 ATR to here, that's the distance. This is larger than 1 ATR, meaning that there was a lot of selling. We did not have any sidewards movement either. So yes, it is a V1, but again, there's lots of V1s and V2s out there, but it doesn't mean you can just take any V1 or V2. It has to be in the larger context of the chart. You know, sideways movement in the value zone, day one not being larger than 1 ATR, right? So yes, it is a V1, but it's not a valid V1, even though it's up today. MDR. Yeah, it is a double bottom with the bullish divergence, but the double bottom happened more than 30 days ago. If something happens more than 30 days ago, it's not as strong. I would be concerned about buying this thing with this big down. Oh, it's a 77-cent stock. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, there's some positives to it for sure. Oh man, I forgot to go over everyone's signals. So Bing He bought TSE back here on the 13th, moved up nicely yesterday. I don't know if this is a bad tick or not, but he's still up nicely on the trade. It's down a couple cents today, so nice job, Bing He. A man Solo had this really nice higher low V2 back on the 31st. This has been a great trade for him. Higher low, here's the V1. It's a higher low V1. This has moved up beautifully. Closed above the 200 yesterday. It rejected the third ATR channel today. Looks like it's closing below the 200. If I was in this trade, personally, I would lock in profits here, but I'm not telling you what to do. That's just my opinion. Bing He bought Triumph yesterday, 23.38. Looked like a good setup. Rejection of the third ATR channel, rejection of the 200-day, V1. Everything looked good. Everything's good, but it doesn't mean that it's going to go up. And looks like this one is down today. But if it were me, if I was in this trade, not telling anybody what to do, but if I was in this trade, I would get out with the close under the 200. Bing He also, very similar trade to what I just showed you on TGI. V1, rejection of the negative third ATR channel, close over the 200, you know, gives you a good risk to reward ratio, and this thing has moved up like a champion. So very nice, Bing He. Just make sure, you know, well, I should say it this way. If this were my trade and it closed below the 50 RSI, that is where I would take my profits off. If it closed above, I would keep it. Man Solo had this nice V2, close under the 200, back over. This has moved up nicely. Don't know if that's a bad tick, but so far so good. Did it reject the 50 RSI today? Let's take a look. Yeah, it did. So it rejected the 50 RSI. If I was in this trade, I would close this out with the close under the 50 RSI. Roku, Gamer Squad bought this a couple days ago here. Nice V1, back up into the value zone. False breakout to the downside. Was up nicely yesterday, was up today, but now it looks like it is failing again here. So it looks like he's slightly underwater. If it were me, I would get out with the close below halfway of this washout bar. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I have got to watch Disney here. It looks like it's going to close under halfway of that bar. So that is about the only thing I have to keep my eye on. Mount Doji says, I'm scooping up VIX and AVYA. Yeah, sorry I couldn't look at AVYA, but hope those go up for you, bud. MDR, we looked at that. Zach, what would you recommend as it relates to books, podcasts, streams, etc., to start learning what I would be looking for on these charts? Unfortunately, they look Greek to me at the moment. Yeah, I'll bet they do. I'll tell you what. Let me wait till the market closes, Zach, and then I will tell you my opinion on that at length. But let me just wait here for a few minutes till the market closes so I can make my trades, and then I'll definitely get into that, and I have some recommendations for you. Zach says, I'm holding off on buying anything until I can grasp it. That's a great sign, Zach. I love to hear that. Just that one little sentence there shows me that you may have what it takes to make this work. A lot of people just jump into this with both feet before they know what they're doing. So you're in a great position of really not knowing anything that way, because now you can learn things correctly the right way instead of having to break a lot of habits. So I'll definitely answer your question. Dr. Long says, buyers that missed will be buying against the gap. Yeah, in a weird way, it will be support. But if it loses that, it will be bearish. Zach says, awesome, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. All right, so barring some kind of miracle on Disney, so let me get this set up here for Diz. Yeah, I'm keeping XLU, gamer, because it's holding above the 70 RSI. Look, I mean, if someone was in this trade and they wanted to get out here because it rejected the third ATR channel, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them at all. But I'm going to wait until we get it closed below the 70 RSI, or like a double rejection or a V1 to the downside on XLU. So yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it so far. But would I fault anybody for getting out here? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't with the rejection of the third ATR channel. So it's just personal preference. But I'm going to hold this, see if it moves up a little bit more or if it closes below the 30 or the 70 RSI. Bing He says, Greg, I think I will still hold on to TGI as the volume is low today. My original stop loss is below the low of yesterday. Okay. Fine, up to you for sure. But just giving you my honest opinion. I mean, look, we lost the 30 RSI and we lost the 200 day. So in my opinion, that's negative. We also rejected the negative third. So that's positive. So that's fine. Just as long as you have a plan, Bing He. And it sounds like you do. Oh, well, Disney might hold there for us. 14. I missed my trade. I didn't realize the time. I should have got out, but I didn't get out. Well, that's my fault. Why did I think I had 2 minutes left? Yeah, so I missed it. I should have got out here with the close under 1447, but it snuck up on me. Darn it. Well, it happens. It was an honest mistake. I didn't mean to do that. Shoot. All right. Well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. These things do happen. So may have to get up tomorrow morning. Then, if it opens under, I'll just have to sell it in the morning. If it opens above my stop, then I would keep it. But I guess this is a good teaching experience. When you do, if you miss the trade that you should have taken, if you miss it, just deal with it the next day. And probably the best way to do it is in the morning. Shoot. All right. Well, that's how it goes. So listen, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just type them in. Happy to get to them. Before I do, just want to put in my quick daily plug, let everybody know that I do teach private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach, had great success with my clients. I do offer a course, 5 sessions. Each session is between 2 and 3 hours, so it's a pretty significant course. It's just one-on-one. I teach you everything I've learned over the last 24 years as a full-time trader. I teach you everything I've learned from all my coaches and mentors, teach you everything that I've developed myself over the years. And I think, for what you get for the price, I think it's a really good value. I really do. It's $1,000. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but when you're done with the course, I think you're going to have a lot better grasp on trading and know what to do in any market. So, if you're interested and you'd like to work with me one-on-one, send me a message on Twitter, send me a message on Skype. Generally, if I have someone that's interested as a new student, I like to have a initial Skype call with them. Totally free, no obligation whatsoever, I promise you. But I just want to make sure that we're a good fit for each other. I want to I kind of want to hear about your goals, what your challenges have been, what you'd like to accomplish. Then I'll put together a lesson plan, trading plan for you to help you achieve those goals. And another reason to have, the initial get to know you call is just to make sure we're on the same page. If you come to me and say, hey, I have $10,000 or $20,000 and I want to triple it by the end of the year, then I'm not the right person for you, right? I mean, my goal every year is somewhere between 12 and 18%. I know maybe it doesn't sound too sexy, especially compared to all the advertisements you hear out there of people making hundreds of percent a year, but very tough to do. And you can do it, but you have to risk a lot of money. But I'm in this for the long term, and that's what I teach. So anyway, if you're interested, please let me know. You can send me an email. It's in the description of this video, or you can send me a message on Twitter, and we can set up that Skype call in one evening. All right. So I'm bummed at myself for not getting out of Apple. I'm really bummed at myself for doing that. Hasn't happened in a bit, but it did happen today. So anyway, and then secondly, if you like this channel, if you find it valuable, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to it. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers, and so that's kind of my goal, was to get to 1,000 subscribers within a year, and I'm right about there. I think we're getting close to the 1-year anniversary. So if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate if you would. And then if you like today's podcast, if you're learning something, if you find it valuable, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button down there as well. That would be nice. Thank you. He says, I didn't see TGI losing 30 RSI. My mistake. Trading needs to look left, look right. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it did close under the 30 RSI. So let me answer Zach's question. Take a look here. Okay. So Zach, what I would suggest that you do, there are some books I would suggest you read, and there's some videos that I would suggest you watch. And this is on, you can find this in the description of any of my videos. In today's videos, if you just hit the show more button in any one of my videos on my channel, you go down here and recommended books on trading. I have a bunch of them, but what I would suggest, not to load you up with too much stuff, I would recommend, first of all, reading the book Moving Averages 101, The Incredible Signals That Will Make You Money in the Stock Market by Steve Burns, our friend Steve Burns, who's in the chat right now. Here's an Amazon link. You can use that for convenience, or just go to Amazon, type in Moving Averages 101 by Steve Burns. This book is gold. And a lot of what I do, a lot of how I trade, it comes from this book. About 75% of how I trade comes from this book. So it's not expensive. It's totally worth your while, but I would read this first. And then I have recommended lesson videos to watch on my channel. So these are totally free. The first one is examples of my 7 different type of stock trade setups. I would watch this one. You can see all the different type of stock setups that I have. The second video would be which chart indicators do you use on your daily live stream. This shows you how I set up my charts. Third one is how to use V1, V2 entry triggers to enter your stock trades. V1s, V2s is a huge part of my trading. You've probably heard me say this today. And profit target phase out video. This is how I phase out. So what I would suggest, first of all, 1, read Moving Averages 101 by Steve Burns. You can get it on Amazon. Here's a link if you need it. Watch these 4 free lessons on my channel, and that is what I would start with. Watch the 4 lessons, read Steve's book. So that's what I would suggest to get you started. And if you have any questions, you just feel free and let me know. Okay. Dang, I can't believe I let Disney go. I had it all set up, sell that at the market, and yeah, it lost the 50 RSI, lost the halfway, lost the 50. Oh well, rookie mistake there, I guess. Man, it really gets under my skin when I do that. I don't do it very often, but darn it. Okay, so we did buy SPY, so let's see where we got SPY at. 328.19. All right, so the new entry on SPY. $328.19. All right, and I'll be selling that mañana. And that's that. So no new positions today other than SPY. You're welcome, Zach. I hope that helps, bud. I'm really glad to hear you're saying I'm holding on buying anything till I can grasp it. Very good. Very glad to hear that. Let's see. Oh, Andrea, I'm sorry. I didn't see your question. What do I think of GDX? Would it have been a buy yesterday? Boy, I'm sorry about that, Andrea. I didn't see. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, the answer probably is no, but you know, the big picture is good. Here we're above the 1 ATR channel, right? Don't want to buy it up here. We want to wait to see if it comes back into value, holds steady. It qualifies in every single point here. except for, well, look, we did have a V1, but I would not take this V1. Here's day one, here's day two. Day two washes out day one, but only a little bit. Has to be by at least a quarter ATR. And so I would not have taken this. But in big picture, it's good. We move up, we come into the value zone, we move sideways, it stops going down. All I missed here was the trigger. That's the only thing I missed on, was lacking for me to take this trade. Let's look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart's in an uptrend. That's good. Weekly chart it's come back down. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I've been looking to buy the dip on gold. I should probably put GDX on my watch list as well, because big strong move up. Wait to buy the dip, but not quite a valid V1 or a V2 for me to buy though. I hope that helps, Andrea. Did you take GDX, Andrea? All right. Well, positive day nonetheless, so I'm grateful for that for sure. All right. So, XLU. All right. Bing He says, Greg, for Disney, if it opened higher tomorrow but still below your stop loss, would you still sell it or would you wait for the close? Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, if it opens above my stop loss, I'm going to keep it and wait for the close. If it opens below my stop loss, I'll just go ahead and sell it first thing. But that's my fault for putting myself in that position that I'm going to have to do that. So again, if it opens under my stop loss, I'll hold, I'll get out immediately. If it opens above my stop loss, then I'll wait till the close of the market to make my decision on whether to get out. Andrea says, okay, I see, not a large enough washout. Starting to get it. No, I did not. Okay. Yeah, and the reason why the washout, Andrea, is so important is you really see washouts are important because it shows you that the market tried to go down and didn't like it there, and it tried to go down deeply. Just this little washout here, it's not enough to convince me that it really tried to go down. Like Merck, for instance. See, well, this washout isn't great as well, but I guess it's close to a quarter. But I mean, here it went down below, washed it out, right? And it's important because in the very recent past, and just earlier that day, it showed you that it did not want to go below here. And you want to use every advantage that you can get in trading. And one of the best advantages is to know that a price just recently within that same day tried to go down and couldn't go and reverse the other way. Right? I'm essentially a false breakout buyer. I want to have a false breakout that reverses, or a false breakout that goes under the 200 and back over. I want to know in the very recent past that the market tried to get down there and didn't like it. It doesn't mean it can't turn around and go back down there, but at least you have the benefit of knowing that day that it already tried to and didn't. And that's a huge edge. I mean, that's an edge. That's why V1, V2s are so good in my opinion. Okie dokie. Oh. Wow, interesting day. So where did we end up? Okay, so the Dow ended up 90 points. 90.55. S&P ended up 7. I'm sorry, the NASDAQ ended up 7 and the VIX or the S&P ended up 6. You know, I showed you this yesterday, but you know, when I talk about the volume coming in at the end of the day, especially in the last minute of the day. So these are 1 minute bars. I mean, look at the volume, right? 20, 30 minutes ago, bump, 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 bump. But look at this last minute. See, that's where all the buying and selling decisions, that's where the big volume comes in that last minute. William says, thanks, Greg, and have a great day. You are welcome, my friend. You are certainly welcome. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Say hello to Cooper for me. And let's see. So, being he ended up on his TSE. Not sure if a man's solo what he did with this, but I would have gotten out here today and locked those profits in. I think being he held on to TGI, right? Yeah. Being he had a great trade here on ACCO. Very nice, my friend. And it did hold above 50, so that's good. Gamer Squad, slightly negative on the day. 2 days it was up, but now it's he's slightly negative on the trade. So still holding the stop loss. Being he said, for Disney, the 5-minute chart shows high volume buying the last few bars. Would you think that is a sign it will recover? Well, it's definitely more of a positive sign than a negative sign, I would say, for sure. For sure, right? If it sold off sharply in the last minute, that would be even more concerning. So who knows? Maybe this mistake of mine will turn into a positive. But yes, I mean, if I was supposed to get out and I didn't get out like I did, then this I mean, look, this is a higher low V1. This is a great example of, Andrea, of a great washout bar. Here's day one, or bar one. Day two thoroughly washes it out, really gets down there, cleans it out, and reverses back up. So yes, that's positive. I'm glad to see that for sure. And look at the last minute, big strong buying bar on the last minute. Boy, that XLU trade's been a great trade, huh? But again, you know, it's important to buy in the value zone with sideways movement. Buying big breakouts, I don't like it. I like buying when things are calmed down and then selling into the big moves, right? Alrighty. Well, listen, everybody, if you have any more questions, feel free to type them in. Don't be shy. I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day. Be grateful that it was a green day. Always grateful for that. Put on my hiking boots and go up in the mountains with Katie girl. And it's a nice sunny day out there. Bing he says, somehow if I made a mistake, I look for bullish signs to console myself. Yeah, sure. 100%. So listen, I mean, Disney going up there at the last part of the day makes me feel better for sure. Makes me feel better for sure. So I think Apple rallied pretty. Let's take a look at the 5-minute on Apple. Yeah. Rallied pretty strongly at the end of the day. Let's look at the last minute bar. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. All right. Well, listen, if there's no more questions, going to get out of here. I really appreciate everybody coming today. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions or not clear on something, you feel free to contact me. You can send me an email. And I'm going to leave you with two things. One, make sure you go out and do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or a wave. Just some nice gesture really may change that person's day. They may be having a horrible day, and one little kind thing you do might bring them back over the cliff, right? I mean, you never know. You just never know. So I think it's a good policy. Try to do something nice, one nice thing every day, and improve somebody's day. And then two, if you on your way out, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, I really would appreciate it if you could do that. That helps the channel. There's a lot of people out there that have a difficult time with trading, and I think if we could get them to this channel on a semi-regular basis, that it will improve their trading and hopefully improve their lives. So hitting the thumbs up button helps Google promote the channel out to more people. So that's why I ask if you could do it. So thanks for that. And let's see. So Bing He says, thanks, you're welcome. Dr. Long, good seeing you. So thanks everybody for coming today. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hope to see you again tomorrow if you're available in the last hour of the market. All right. Thanks everyone. Take care now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation, and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.